right, all about the ketosis process and the keto diet. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing and check out the article below where I write. I'm just going to briefly talk about what I wrote in the article and efforts that it helps you with any sort of maybe mental issues that you maybe are going on, and how you can adopt a keto or an Atkins diet to help with mental issues. I've worked with a lot of different people, and one of the demographics that I worked with were people with disabilities, and specifically with mental disabilities. And it really gives you insight as to how difficult life can be for certain people. And one of my personal beliefs is that your diet, your nutrition, can really affect how your mental clarity, how your mental well-being is, and whether or not you have some sort of diagnosis. I don't really like to use that word, but I'm going to use it very loosely. Either you have schizophrenia, they're prone to seizures, they have maybe bipolar, or what have you, obesity even, metabolic syndrome. And I think that there's a lot more research, I know that for sure, I believe in Harvard Medical School in regards to keto and how it can really help with mental clarity. I explain a little bit more in detail in the article below, where you can click on that and read a little bit more on my findings. I had one client who was very much seizure prone. He was prone to kind of always having seizures, and I advised him, just watch your carb intake, eat more protein, increase your fats, increase your protein, lower your carbs as much as you can. And he was a big drinker guy, he was a gamer guy, and voila, he started seeing results. And then he ended up, towards our end of our personal training package that he purchased working with me, he actually found himself a girlfriend. So his whole kind of life changed, and his persona, his look changed, his hair, he had really nice long hair. He was really smart guy, physics guy, and voila, just like that, because of the food. And working with me, I believe we trained twice a week, and he was one of my great clients. I would mention his name, but just for privacy reasons, I won't. But that is just an example of how nutrition can really alter and affect your well-being. So that goes into when I wrote a little bit about the process of ketosis. And basically our bodies get into ketosis typically overnight, like if you're not eating for 8 hours, for example. But sometimes some people may not be able to ability because they're not metabolically flexible. To be metabolically flexible, it means that you have an efficient body, you have an efficient system that works well. And the reasons why you may not have an efficient system is because you're eating processed foods, you're eating foods that contribute to inflammation and are not getting the nutrients that you need to your brain, and thus you may have some brain fog, you may have some mood swings, you may have some suicidal thoughts, some depression, anxiety. You may have, if it's something more severe like bipolar, schizophrenia, or what have you. These are all very serious mental kind of situations that unfortunately a lot of people go through. And I think it's pretty safe to say it's pretty normal for people to experience at one point in time in their life, but I don't think it should be normalized to the point where you accept it and there's no way out, because there is a way out. I've interacted with people where they were mentally in a very difficult place, and I was kind of there confident to help them kind of get out of that. So I felt that I'm kind of qualified to make this video and talk a little bit about that. The Atkins diet is basically where you introduce carbs into your diet and you actually don't really eat much carbs. Keto is where you have minimal carbs. So you're still eating carbs, but you're eating like 50 grams of carbs per day for every 2,000 calories that you're eating. If you are going to adopt a keto or an Atkins diet, it's pretty fair to say that you want to do it with a clinician, a medical clinician, somebody that can guide you, because specifically with the Atkins diet, you can actually start to get worse mentally before you actually start to get better. So it's really important to have somebody work with you to make sure that you're getting the results that you're looking for. Cell, and you have all these organelles in it. There's an organelle, it's actually an engulfed bacteria, which means it was at one point in a bacteria, and the mitochondria has its own DNA. And what this means is that it can kind of reproduce itself. The mitochondria is a super organelle. If you have good, healthy mitochondria, you're typically a good, typically healthy, efficient person. If you research a little bit more on Mediterranean diet, you'll find that the Mediterranean diet, number one, I believe that they are the people that live the longest, or the Japanese. The reason being is that the Mediterranean diet is high in salmon, it's high in omega-3, they eat lots of olive oil, they eat goat cheese. Now, goat cheese, which is what I'm going to tie into the MCT oil, goat cheese has melatonin in it, and melatonin is an antioxidant. Just to put a brief, melatonin is an antioxidant. Melatonin is the hormone that's released when you're sleeping. This is why it's important to sleep, get quality sleep. And the antioxidant is exactly that. It's an antioxidant, so it fights the oxidants. And so when you eat kind of these foods, if you will, they're helping to cleanse your system from kind of free radicals, if you will. So goat cheese has been found to have some melatonin in it. I personally prefer goat milk because goat cheese is very expensive, but it tastes really good, and you can actually also give it to your dog and cats. There was a guy that I know, and I talk a little bit about it in the article that I wrote below, where his dog has stage 4 cancer. He gave his dog 43 milligrams of melatonin every night, and his dog had issues urinating, going to the bathroom, and voila, his stage 4 cancer kind of went away. It's kind of interesting, very interesting actually. This is one of the reasons why they're doing a lot of research now behind the keto diet and melatonin and mitochondria, and how this all kind of works together to get the nutrients that your brain needs, number one, because of the ketones. What happens is that when you eat too much glucose or like carbs, you may not be getting the nutrients that you need into your brain because they can't get to your brain, whereas the ketones can, if that makes sense. I talk a little bit more about it in the article below, so just click below, read it, and I put it very simply there. So going back to the goat cheese, another thing that you can get to put your body into ketosis is you can get MCT oil. It doesn't taste like anything. You can put it over your rice, you can put it over your eggs, you can put it on your steak, what have you. But typically if I'm leading up to a meet or a competition or what have you, I like to do the keto diet and use coconut oil, lots of protein, lots of fats, minimal carb, and that really helps to kind of kickstart your physique, your body, to start losing fat. You can get yourself some MCT oil, give it a go, try it out, give yourself about 3 months, and you could try the keto diet, just play around with your diet, cut out the chips, cut out the cookies and the cakes and the pastries. You shouldn't be eating pastries in the morning anyways, you should be eating something protein or eating oatmeal. And that's it. So that is a brief overview, a pretty long video, but hopefully that was useful. And if you do know somebody with some mental issues, try to encourage them to talk with a clinician so that they can get into the keto diet. And if their clinician is hesitant to put them on the keto diet or Atkins diet specifically, ask the clinician to look into Harvard research. They're doing a lot of research now on the relation between mental disorders, mental issues, and the adoption of keto, and how the keto can actually help to reverse things like schizophrenia, bipolar, obesity. Okay, so that was the video. Thank you for watching, and subscribe below. Email me if you would like a custom program, and I'll see you in the next video.